Live from the WMSV television studios at the College of Mount St. Vincent, this is Channel 8 News.
Hello and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm James Wilkins alongside Dan Federico, and we've got some great sports stories ready to go today. So let's get to it. The saga that is Alex Rodriguez's grievance hearing against Major League Baseball took a surprising turn this week after arbitrator Frederick Horowitz ruled Wednesday that MLB Commissioner Bud Selig did not have to testify before the defense. Rodriguez stormed out of the courtrooms. Reports have stated that he slammed his hand on the table, threw out some profanities, and exited the meeting as a result of the news. Just hours after storming out, Rodriguez vowed that he would not return to participate in the trial that he called a farce any further. The case is now moving into its closing arguments, and each side will have until December 11th to submit their written briefs. From there will be 10 days for each side to reply. Then Horowitz will take 25 days to make a ruling in the case, which means that a final judgment will not come until January, a fact that is haunting the Yankees, as they have been monitoring to see whether Rodriguez or his hefty contract will be on their hands as they make moves this offseason. And even while A-Rod's case may be slowing down New York's willingness to spend, it's not completely stopping it. Nope. In fact, the Yanks made a splash Saturday night as they signed free agent catcher Brian McCann to a 5-year deal worth $85 million. The deal also includes a vesting option for a 6th season that could push the total up to $100 million. McCann, who is widely considered the top catcher up for grabs this offseason, had been at the top of New York's wish list. He will certainly be an upgrade as he has posted 6 consecutive seasons of 20 or more home runs. Last year, New York's backstops combined for a Major League worst 8 dingers. While he has had issues with his health in the past few years, that has largely been attributed to the playing in the heat in Atlanta, something that he will not have to worry about in New York. He will also have the ability to spend some time at DH and first base for the Yanks, which could keep his powerful bat in the lineup. Dan?
For Chicago Bulls fans, everything seems to be falling into place this season. With a great core of players, one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, and their star point guard making his highly anticipated return to the court, it looked like championship or bust for the Windy City. Now, it looks like this dream is interrupted by a nightmare, again. On Saturday against the Portland Trail Blazers, Derrick Rose landed awkwardly on his healthy knee, and early reports suggested that he tore his meniscus. Rose was finally starting to resemble the play that made him the 2012 MVP, averaging 15.2 points per game while dishing out 5.3 assists. It remains to be seen how long Rose will be out, and more importantly, if he will ever be the same player he once was. James?
Now for a look at the NFL. We've got the Colts and Cardinals squaring off in Arizona, and a touching moment at the start between the coaches Chuck Pagano and Bruce Arians. Of course, Arians filled in for Pagano last season as he battled cancer. And then we had Carson Palmer throwing a touchdown pass to Larry Fitzgerald, but now we see the Colts quarterback Andrew Luck struggling to free himself from a sack, throws an interception to Carlos Dansby. And look at the big fella dance. The Cardinals pulled off the W, 40-11. Dan?
As the losses pile up, the New York Knicks are starting to feel the pressure of change as they lost their 5th straight against the Washington Wizards, 98-89. With Ray Felton and Tyson Chandler still injured, both John Wall and Marcin Gortat torched the team while being defended by Knicks backups. Wall scored 31 points, while Gortat had 15 points along with 17 boards. The lone bright spot for the Knicks was the play of Amari Stoudemire, who played a season-high 22 minutes and had 12 points with 5 rebounds. The road trip won't get any easier, as the Knicks will meet the 10-2 Trailblazers in Portland on Monday night. James?
Now let's take a look at the Chiefs coming off their first loss of the season, battling the up-and-down Chargers at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Alex Smith was ready to go for this one, and here we see him connecting with Anthony Fasano for a red zone score. But now the 4th quarter, where it's not Antonio Gates, but Ladarius Green, the backup tight end, who was targeted for a 60-yard score. But here come the Chiefs right back. We've got Smith connecting with Dwayne Bowe for a touchdown, and Bowe is pumped. But now, never say die, as Phillip Rivers finds Semi Ajaratutu for the big touchdown as he slides in for the catch, his only 3rd of the season. And just like that, the Chargers run in with a fired-up Phillip Rivers to steal the victory on the road. They win 41-38. Dan?
Even though they got help from the Giants, Tony Romo and the Dallas Cowboys all but buried New York's slim hopes of making the playoffs, winning 24-21. Penalties hurt the Giants all game, with defensive starters Antrel Roll and Matthias Kiwanuka picking up flags in key parts of the contest. Tony Romo played solid all night, throwing 2 touchdowns and an interception over 250 yards, and on the game-winning drive, he went 6 for 9 and converted 2 third downs to seal the victory. With 4 ticks left, Dan Bailey came out and sealed the victory with a game-winning field goal. The lone bright spot for the Giants' offense was Andre Brown, who continued to impress after coming back from an injury. Brown carried the ball 27 times for 127 yards, more than any back all season. However, with a combination of a stagnant offense and a defense that received too many penalties, it was too much to overcome. The Giants will travel to play the Redskins this upcoming week. James?
In what many people say was a shocking deal, the Detroit Tigers pulled off the first blockbuster trade of the offseason when they dealt slugging first baseman Prince Fielder to Texas in exchange for the Rangers' all-star second baseman Ian Kinsler. The deal, which was announced late Wednesday night, came so abruptly that Kinsler's agent didn't even know about it until he received a text from the second baseman asking him to check into it. While the deal comes as a surprise for both clubs, it seems to make sense when you look into it. For one, Detroit was able to free up some money that they can use to try and re-sign Cy Young Award winner Max Scherzer. The deal also may allow superstar Miguel Cabrera to move from third, where his range is limited, to first base, where he's much more comfortable. For Texas, the deal seems to have allowed them to break up a logjam in the middle of their infield, as it looks like top prospect Jurickson Profar will get the chance to prove what he's got and fill the void at second base. Now, the Tigers and the Rangers weren't the only teams swapping top talent this week. On Friday, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Los Angeles Angels confirmed a deal in which the Cards will send former World Series MVP and third baseman David Freese to L.A. In return, the Angels are sending center fielder Peter Bourjos, who's known primarily for his defense, to St. Louis. After trading Alberto Callaspo to Oakland at the trade deadline last season, the Angels have been looking for a steady third baseman. Coming off of a tough season in St. Louis, it seemed likely that Freese would be moved for extra outfield help. With the winter meetings still to come, and December, the month where big deals usually get made, we are sure to see some more big-time moves before teams report for spring training. Dan?
Cam Talbot was tested often, but he turned away every shot he faced as the New York Rangers shut out the Nashville Predators 2-0 on Saturday night. Ryan McDonough and Derek Stepan scored for the Rangers, who have won the first 2 games of a 5-game road trip, while Matt Zuccarello assisted on both goals. Yet again, the story was about Talbot, as the backup goalie made 17 saves to record his second straight shutout. The Blue Shirts will continue their road trip on Monday as they take on the Lightning in Tampa Bay. James?
It was a downright crazy game for both sides, but last night's 34-31 Patriots win over the Broncos was definitely an instant classic. After a dismal start in which they turned the ball over 3 times and saw themselves go down 24-0, the Pats came out strong in the second half. It was like a new team came out of the locker room. New England rattled off 31 straight points, and after a late Broncos score, the game moved into overtime. In the extra period, it looked as though the 2 teams may kiss their sister and call it a tie, but that all changed when a New England punt bounced off of the right leg of Tony Carter's, a backup cornerback. The Pats recovered the fumble and easily knocked through the game-winning field goal. What a wild one. Dan?
Money can't buy all things and wills other into existence. But in the NBA, it cannot buy chemistry. With an owner that's consumed with a win-now mindset, the Brooklyn Nets broke the bank this offseason by trading for Celtics mainstays Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, on top of dishing out max deals to Deron Williams, Brook Lopez, and Joe Johnson. Although the new CBA instructs teams over the salary cap to pay luxury taxes, owner Mikhail Prokhorov is one who is willing to pay in exchange for a championship banner. While injuries have seemingly hurt Williams and Lopez, the same can't be said about the former Celtics duo. Both Pierce and Garnett seem to lack the fire that brought them championships in Boston, while also showing their age with declining play. Well, that's all for Channel 8 News. For James Wilkins, I'm Dan Federico. Thank you for tuning in this week.